Thank you for staying with Republic, and joining us on this special broadcast is Mr. Ajay Kanwal. He's the CEO and MD of Jana Small Finance Bank. Very good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining us on Republic. I firstly want to begin by asking you, what are the top 3 asks of the banking sector in the upcoming budget?
A very good morning to you, Suresh, and the viewers. I'm not sure about what the entire banking sector wants, but I can tell you what at least certainly Jana Small Finance Bank and folks like us who are in a similar line of business would expect and will really help. So the first thing, I feel that there is something that the salaried small businesses, retirees would like. If you couple that with growth in cash in the economy, which has doubled in the last 5-6 years to about 35 lakh crores, maybe a good answer of merging the two needs, which is reducing cash, helping salaried small business and retirees, is to come out with a specific tax program for either a time deposit or savings in banks. It'll do 2 things. It'll give obviously people an advantage. Certainly if you cap the deposit amount or the savings amount, but also a lot of cash should come into the banking system, which anyway will help the banks do more loans and help create more jobs and more capital formation. So I'm really hoping that there is some help to everyone, large population, in the time deposits and savings for banks, and it'll help both ways. It'll really reduce, the liquidity pressure, and at the same time reduce cash, and also help everyone from retirees to small businesses.
And that brings me to my second question. How do you think this budget can balance the need between fiscal prudence and the need for economic stimulation?
So I think we have been really very, very sharp on fiscal prudence. And I think more important, so I do expect the trend to continue. The balancing act has to be played by the government for sure, because everybody has a demand. They need to figure out what is the strategic one and which is the tactical one and allocate the money. I do think that having a growth budget is the most likely answer that we would get, and rightly so. India is in a sweet spot. We're having a good tailwind in terms of how we are growing. So growth budget is the answer. But like I said, it won't keep everybody happy. The government has to choose the right spots where they really put their money. And I think we should all work with that. And we've seen very good results in the last few years.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that fine balance is extremely important. But I also want to understand from you, what are the steps, according to you, that can be taken to stimulate credit growth? Because this is certainly a big concern in the banking ecosystem right now.
So, Suresh, I think credit growth will needs, depends on which spots you're talking of. So let me talk of spots that Jana is very focused on. So, for example, affordable housing. And the normal demand in affordable housing is, reduce the price or, change the PMAY, the affordable housing limits, etc. I think we should do something more fundamental. We should take a pot of money, keep it on the side for formalization of or registration of property documents. So as we see, a lot of property documents don't have the clarity. So even if they come to a bank, we can't take it as a mortgage or a pledge. And there are lakhs of households who stay in properties, they own it, but the paperwork is not clear. But once you make the paperwork clear, so I'm talking of like a e-registration, we should do an Aadhaar kind of an answer for property. It will really free up a lot of affordable housing lending. And every affordable housing loan, just to give you a thumb rule I read somewhere, every 100 houses that we build in affordable housing is 130 jobs. So you see, it just drives 2 things. One is you're driving towards asset creation. People are happy. You're creating jobs. And I think while we do all the tinkering around on rates, etc., I think we should do something more fundamental, which is, listen, the big challenge really is clarity of paperwork. We should regularize everybody's paper. We should start a whole program around it. Everything should be available on a portal so that it can be downloaded and the title can be very clear. I think it'll make people very, very happy. And also it'll really push credit, for example. The other thought I have, which is on, again, small businesses. See, small business, a lot of chat around more guarantees and rates. I still feel the biggest challenge in small business is when one business gives to the other business, they always worry about whether the money comes back. So money stuck in the market, the other guy is not paying, seems to be a bigger problem than banks not lending by itself. And I can see that as a big challenge. So maybe it's time we think of a guarantee program where banks can participate with, institutions like SIDBI. And we create, suppose I'm staying in Lucknow and I'm supplying to somebody in Bangalore. I want to get comfort that when I supply, I'll get the money. And if we can create that ecosystem to work, then I think the whole small business momentum will take another step. It will require a simple platform. It will require some investment. So yes, for me, yes, we will drive credit growth. Credit growth actually can grow very well because economy is doing well. But really bringing up small business, which brings up jobs, is important. Doing affordable housing, which again creates jobs, helps the inclusive growth. I think that is very, very important. Otherwise, yes, we are doing 7-8%. We will do 7-8%. But how we bring the inclusive growth, to me, is more important.
And in that sense, sir, what would you say about the strategic divestment of banks? Would you say that this is the right time to go for it?
Listen, I'm not the expert to answer on this, but I think there is never a good time. I'm sure the economy is doing well. There are enough and more people interested. The government has a plan. So I think should be the right answer.
Also, I want to ask you that you think the budget will focus on digital banking and fintech innovations affect the operations and growth strategy of small finance banks like Jana?
So I must say all small finance banks and Jana in particular, which I can talk of, we are very digitally focused. And what it does for us, Suesha, is it actually brings down the cost of operation, allows us to do risk models which have not been tried in the past. So more and more folks can come into the credit boundaries of the banks. So yes, I think any amount of digital and focus from the government on improving it would be great and will certainly help all banks, certainly Jana Small Finance Bank. But I think more importantly is now doing digitization area where we are weak. And here is where I mean we should get into how we do bill discounting, how do we help small businesses, how we do affordable housing, take it down to the agri sector, create the supply chain answer. I think we've got very good stack on digital. We've got very good experience. Now it's really bringing it to the real parts of economy where I think we probably need to do a phase 2 in a serious way.
All right, Mr. Kanwal, I want to thank you firstly for speaking to us once again. And of course, we wait and watch what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman does announce. For the moment, we do wrap this edition.
Thank you so much.